everybody, and welcome back to our GAMA Trade Show 2016 coverage. I'm Zeke Garcia. I am here with Martin from Portal Games.
Hello, guys.
How are you?
Oh, not so bad, not so bad. A bit exhausted, but it's okay.
Of course, we're all getting there very soon. And we're going to be taking a look at some upcoming games from Portal.
Yeah.
And first off, we have right here on the table a darling of mine, actually, 51st State Master Set.
Master Set, exactly.
What have we got? Tell me a little bit about it.
The game, actually, it's a new version of the existing 51st State. And Ignacy just redesigned this game again. And for those who's familiar with the first edition, that might be a bit surprised because the game is quite different. It's smoother, faster, more aggressive. In my opinion, much better.
Okay, cool. So give us just an overview of the mechanics of the game. How does it work? How do we win? If
actually the people are familiar with the Imperial Settlers, that's because the game is based on the Imperial Settlers mechanism. Unlike in the Imperial Settlers, we don't have a faction cards. We don't play as a factions here. So basically, instead of this, we have a one deck of cards consists of 88 cards, and we mix them with one of two expansions what are in the box, right?
Okay.
If we would like to play with New Era, we just mix them into the deck of cards, and that gives us opportunity to win for everybody. That's because the chances are equal. We don't have faction cards for each faction.
Right.
We have factions. We have a deck of cards that are equal for everybody. Right. So how do you win the game? You don't have a specific number of rounds. First player who scored 25 points, he trigger final scoring.
Okay.
So you cannot do the good strategy for five rounds.
Right.
Instead of this, you have a different number of rounds, and this is like a racing. That's because you cannot presume how many rounds you will have.
Right. So if someone is slowing down to try to get a lot of points, you can hurry up and beat them before they're ready.
Yeah, that's the major difference between the Imperial Settlers and the 51st State. What's also very important, the major difference between this game and the Imperial Settlers is each card you connect to your state are vulnerable. It means you can attack any card in the opponent's state. So you have to think differently when you plan your strategy. That's because every card can be attacked by the others.
Right.
So this is like it's very frantic. That's because you can attack the other players, but you might be attacked by the others as well. So in each, you can of course use the cards in 3 different ways. You can deal with this card. You can spoil that card. You can raise it, or you can attach into your state. So that's how it works in Imperial Settlers as well. We will have in this game very nice customized components. Like I like the small red guns. Also, we have dozens of cards. We have dozens of tokens, 4 different factions. So that's how it looks like. 51st State. Very fast game. Plays within like a 60 or 90 minutes, but it could be faster if you hurry up with the others. So that's how it looks like.
Okay, great. And when is this game going to be coming out about?
So now at this time, you can pre-order this game at portalgames.pl.
Okay.
So you can pre-order and you'll receive 2 additional factions, nicer wooden components. So you're really welcome to do it. And the release date will be at the end of May, worldwide.
Okay.
Which is cool. Like you can find this game at the same date in Europe, in every store, and in Poland, in the USA. So that's what we'll try. I'm pretty excited that because it's a GAMA announcement. The crazy cards. It's a very fronting racing game. It's a family game, guys. You've heard about this game like a first in the world. Yeah.
Excellent. Here, let me get that cover.
We haven't announced.
We'll show that off.
We haven't announced this game to anybody. So.
Okay. Well, there you have it.
It's noon at 12 o'clock. Yeah, that's a premiere. So
there we go.
That's a GAMA announcement.
All right, tell me a little bit about it.
It's a fronting racing game. I love it. That's because it's a family game. When you have a modular base, modular boards, you play as a team. So each team consists of 2 players.
Okay.
Right? One person is responsible for braking, turning, and charging the cart, while the other is responsible for speeding up, shooting, and repairing. Right?
Wow.
But what's the tricky thing? The
Okay.
thing is they cannot communicate each other. So you can imagine how big mess could be.
Wow.
So
okay.
basically, we have a cart at the beginning of the race. We have a cart. Okay, I just made just a small mistake here. Let's say we're gonna play dwarfs, right? That's because we have in this game we have 4 different cars. We have I have prepared the dwarfs card and the goblins one. They are very sneaky.
All right.
So behind the screen, we are preparing our cards. The slower we are, the more cards we have. At the beginning of the race, we have speed 0, but we can draw 6 cards. But faster we go, less cards we have. So that means when we go faster, we can less operate the turnings, and this not so much flexible about this. The card hasn't got so very good skills of turning and etc.
Right.
The dwarves are very good with the breaking obstacles because they can use the ramp to break an obstacle.
Okay.
Otherwise, they'll be harmed by that obstacle. For example, they can jump into the pond, so they reduce their speed to 0 and reduce their power-ups to 0. They just they fell to the pond. You can go across the rocks. You can hit the rocks. You can go into the happy farm. You can just release the animals, and there will be the mess on the board. You're getting power-ups. So what's the feeling about playing the game? It's like, basically, for me, it's like playing the code names. When you're playing, you're trying to communicate with your teammate, but you cannot say anything. What would you like to plan? So after, when they're revealing, when each player reveals their plans, they say, "Oh, come on, you shouldn't do it. Like, don't do it again. You have to focus. Next time, you have to go forward, not to turning, etc., etc." So the feeling is like
It's like a Robo Rally meets Codenames kind of.
but
game.
with more interaction, with more interaction, with more fronting things. What's happening? The speed of the game. It's very fast game. So that's how it looks like.
So
Great.
when is this game coming out from you guys?
I have a surprise for you. Origins.
Origins.
Yeah, Origins, guys. Like a
So
couple
that
of
is
months.
right around the corner.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not on the ship yet, but
Very soon.
it's soon. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Glad to hear about it. And that one's called
Crazy Cars.
Crazy Cart. There you have it.
I brought with me the Cry Havoc. Cry Havoc, the game made by Grand Rodiak with little help of Michał Oracz, the author of Hiroshima Hex, and Michał Walczak, author of solo game expansion for Legacy.
Right.
So this is our first game with the miniatures. We are very proud of. That's because this game will have more than 50 customized miniatures. The size of the board will be like in a Stronghold or in Robinson Crusoe.
Okay.
Just to fit to the miniatures. What's all about? Yeah, this is a strategy game where players can take a role of they can take control over one of the 4 different factions.
All right.
Why the game is quite unique? That's because of the very smart mechanism of the resolution battle. How you can resolve the battles. Try to imagine you have 3 different objectives here. As an invader, you'd like to know exactly, would like to decide what would you like to grab it from the terrain you'd like to attack. So you can put your miniatures on the terrain objective, or you can put your miniatures on the prisoners, or you can put your miniatures on the attrition objective.
Okay.
Of course, you can split them as well. Then the defender, he is able to decide what he would like to defend. He'd like to defend the territory. He'd like to keep his miniatures not to be prisoners, or he'd like to take the revenge and kill everybody as well. After that, when the invaders put their miniatures and the defender put their miniatures on the board, players are able to play some cards.
Okay.
After that, we resolve step by step by the objectives. Who has an advantage out there? So if you have more miniatures than your opponents, you claim the territory. Like if you have more miniatures than your opponents on the prisoners,
you get prisoners.
You get a prisoner. Then, if you have you can do a casual. You can kill as many miniatures as you have miniatures on the attrition objective.
Gotcha.
Very simple, very intense. It's very easy to find who's gonna win. Right?
Got it. So very, very in-your-face gameplay with miniatures.
Exactly. Right.
Okay. How many players?
Up to 4 players.
Up to 4. Okay.
What's also important in this game, the length of the game depends how good you are. It doesn't. If all of the players are pretty solid players, the game consists 5 or 6 rounds, right?
Okay.
But if you are very good with this, what you are doing, if you're a Napoleon of the strategy, right? If you just blow up your enemies, the game there doesn't really matter to play more rounds, but because you become the winner anyway. Yeah?
Oh, I see.
So the mechanism of the game shorts the game automatically. So
the idea is to not be sitting there.
Exactly.
Keep playing while you already know I'm going to win. So
Exactly.
the game stops at that point.
The game stops. You actually stops at the point. That's because the winner is obvious.
Huh.
So
Okay.
that's the thing.
Very cool.
What's all? The
Okay.
Cry Havoc released at the Gen Con.
Okay.
Hey. Guys, that's a Robinson Crusoe. We are very proud of to show you how the English version will looks like, because on September you will find this box on your shelf in the favorite store.
Okay.
The Robinson Crusoe, that will be we will call them the edition of the year. That will be, of course, in English, and it will be based on the Polish edition.
Okay.
Right? So what will be the difference between the first one and the current one and the new edition of Robinson Crusoe? What you will find? First of all, it will be published by Portal Games, right? That's the rule book will be rewriting. Right?
Okay.
Will be a bit shorter. In addition, you will find all the trimmings what we have in the Polish version. Actually, we have stickers on the pounds. You will find the wooden customized components, thicker cardboard for archers. Also, we have 7th scenario, King Kong.
Okay.
It's about gather the monkey from the aisle to use it in Hollywood. And what else? The tokens they'll have names. That will be easier to find what's exactly is here, right?
I see.
So if you're familiar with the current edition, what you have, you will find a new edition. Except everything this, you will find also the new art on the box, done by Vincent Dutoit, the guy who just painted the Lewis and Clark. So we will have a new cover. This edition will be available in September, I'd say. So
let's talk a little bit about your upcoming First Martians game as well. I know you don't have anything to show us here.
Yeah, not yet. I'm really sorry.
Yeah,
but the First Martian, will hit shelves in Essen, I'd say, during the Essen.
Okay.
We hope that we'll do it.
And tell us a little bit just about the game in general, just a little pitch about it.
People, if somebody likes Robinson Crusoe, right, he would love the First Martian. That's because the game, the First Martian will take everything was the best from Robinson Crusoe. I mean, the mechanism and the story behind, everything what people love from Robinson Crusoe. But we'll add something more. We'll add an application.
Right, an app. You're using an app that you could do on what, an iPad, I assume, on
iPad,
what platforms?
On all the platforms, I'd say that we have. We confirmed an application for iPhones, for Androids, for tablets, and for computers as well.
Okay.
For PCs as well. But what will be the major difference between the Robinson Crusoe and the First Martian is an application, as I said. Instead of having event cards in First Martian, you'll have an application that gives you an opportunity to find so many adventures on the Mars. Maybe I help with myself with some nice example. Let's say we're playing the big campaign. The campaign consists of 5 scenarios. During the first scenario, we're going outside from the hub. We're going to search something was in the rocks. We came on the cliffs. Apparently, we just fell down, right? An application asks us, you have to pass the test. If you didn't do it, just you just mark it. I failed with the test, and that happens, right? You come back to the hub, and life goes on. You just finish the first scenario. You just put this game on the shelf again, and you just do your normal life. Then you're going back to the campaign. You pass to the second scenario, third scenario, fourth scenario. Then you came to the fifth, the grand finale scenario, right? During this game, the hub is going to collapse.
Okay.
Right. You have to run out from the hub because it's like a decompressing, something like that.
Okay.
You came to wear your spacesuit, and at this time, an application asks you, have you seen the small scratch on your spacesuit? You haven't. That's because during the first scenario, when you fell down from the cliff, you just broke the spacesuit. So you have 2 rounds to find a new spacesuit. In this example, I'd like to tell you that the application can remember exactly what happened a couple of months ago in the real life.
Right. So basically, the application, and correct me if I'm wrong, not only will hide the second part of the card from you, right? So okay, you know what happened, but you don't know the aftermath of that. Not only will it do that, but it will remember that from game to game.
And it reminds you also an ongoing effects as well.
Right.
Like, for example, you broke a leg, right? You can go to the medical center, but it takes you the whole round.
Gotcha.
And but you have no time to do it. You have no time to do it. That's because some more important things they have to be done, right? Next round, the application reminds you, come on, guys, you have to go to the medical center. That's otherwise you'll be hurting. You'll be hurt, right? So you just say, oh, come on, I'll do it because I have to do something else, right? Then the next round, the application tells you, you have only 1 pawn instead of 2. That's because you cannot move. You cannot move. You stick to the current position when you are, and you can go across the hub. So that couldn't be possible to do with the event cards.
Right.
And the application will helps you to remember ongoing effects during the game.
Sounds excellent. So when can we get our hands on it?
We'll try to do an Essen.
Okay, so you're shooting for Essen, but that's not guaranteed.
I'm not quite sure. We cannot guarantee. That's because we, as with the previous titles, we'd like to do a worldwide premiere.
Right.
It means we have to ship to USA early, 2 months early, right?
Right.
To do it, but we'll try to do it. We're working hard. Ignacy is our boss. We'll try to do as best as possible.
Okay. Well, good. Great talking to you, Martin.
Thank you, Z.
Thank you, and thank you everybody for tuning in.
Cheers.
See you.
Thank you.